In this step we're going to assemble the clutch bell, the pinion, and the clutch bearing block, as well as the starter assembly. You'll need an M2.5 hex driver, as well as some blue thread lock and either tri-flow lubricant or automatic transmission fluid. We want to assemble the clutch bell and pinion assembly. First thing we need to do is put some lubricant into the one-way bearing or sprag here. You don't want to put too much in here. You just want to make sure it's got a good coating. Take the pinion gear. You can see there's a stepped in, and that's what we're going to insert into the clutch. Just grab the clutch, and we're going to work and twist this into the bearing. As you see, it rotates freely, and it's in. We're going to insert the clutch bell and pinion into the clutch bearing block. There's a small opening and a large opening. Large opening is obviously where the pinion gear goes. This fits pretty snug. You really don't need to put any thread lock or bearing compound on this. Goes right in, fits nice and snug. Now we can insert the start shaft into the clutch. One end has a collar, that's the end that's inside the clutch. Just push that right through, goes right in. You'll see there's an exposed end. It has a flat on it. That flat is going to be the alignment key for one of the two set screws on the start coupler. You want to have blue Loctite on this, blue thread lock. Go ahead and tighten that down, and then tighten the other one as well. And at this point the coupler is installed on the clutch, and that should turn freely, and in this case does. Set of M3x10 bolts that are going to attach this to the middle bearing block. Talk about the mount holes in this assembly here. You can see there's one in the front, and then there's three in the back. The three in the back are going to align with the holes in the frame depending on which pinion gear you're using. The standard pinion gear is 18 tooth, so we're going to be using this center hole. If you were using a 19 tooth, you'd use the forward hole. If you were using a 17 tooth, you'd use the rear hole. If you look at the frame, it has the same three sets of holes. We're going to use the center hole. And here's the frame with the clutch block installed. You can see the two bolts here that go into the middle bearing block, as well as the two on the outside. You want 3mm washers on these. We're going to tighten all these up. We're not going to put thread lock on them right now, because once we get the motor in, we're going to come back and re-tighten these, or we're going to reposition this just to make sure it seats. The two bolts that are in the center here, you actually go through these holes in the top bearing block to get to them. Tighten them down as shown. Again, we're going to reposition this when we get the motor in. There you can see the clutch bell installed in the frame.